Bait and switch politics. Sleight of hand legislature and dragnet policy. What do they all have in common? We'll watch this first. Yeah, we'll do this the sloppy way. Why? Like I said, 50-cent production, priceless information. We'll get a bit of sound up, will we? So you can hear it. Righty-ho.
Visit places you can't find with a hashtag.
New Defence Force recruitment ads.
Because this is more than just a job.
A past Army chief says they are missing the mark.
Let's focus on that and focus on the fact that it's not easy. It shouldn't be advertised as some sort of lifestyle.
The RSL Defence and National Security Committee wants a return to this.
Army Reserve, they're doing something for Australia.
And being proud of who we are and being prepared to make a commitment of service and sacrifice.
Fearing the consequences if change isn't made.
It's quite a large problem. The force is below strength now.
Defence Force recruitment needs to grow from 5,000 to 9,000 people a year to meet demand.
We've got to be very targeted and make sure that we're giving people what they want.
Calling for Australia to copy the US GI Bill that pays for veterans to get a trade or degree and a return to the Ready Reserve scheme for school leavers. The former Army chief says the government should even consider conscription if Australia is invaded or involved in a major overseas conflict.
It's there if there's an emergency.
Bruce Calder, conscripted in the 1960s, is unsure if it would work with younger generations.
I don't think they would appreciate it.
One day, they might not have a choice. Josh Martin, 7 News.
Okay, let's watch that again with a couple of pauses.
Visit places you can't find with a hashtag.
New Defence Force recruitment ads.
Because this is more than just a job.
A past Army chief says they are missing the mark.
Okay, this is about 10 months old. 10 months ago this was up like this story ran. Remember, the government's always got a long play.
Focus on that and focus on the fact that it's not easy. It shouldn't be advertised as some sort of lifestyle.
The RSL Defence and National Security Committee wants a return to this.
Army Reserve, they're doing something for Australia.
And being proud of who we are and being prepared to make a commitment of service and sacrifice.
Service and sacrifice. Service and sacrifice. Come back. Service and sacrifice. Who's supposed to serve who? Who's supposed to sacrifice what? Is this one of those ask not what you can do for your country, but what your country can do for you? Or what you ask not what your country can do for you and what you can do for your government questions? I think that's what it is. What you can do for your government. Fuck the government. The world doesn't owe you a damn thing. And we sure as hell don't owe the government a fucking damn brass razoo, let alone the lives of our children. For what? Economic warfare? What's the next word that comes out? Like service and sacrifice. So what, we're meant to serve an economy? Because apparently, like, according to the government, the way they're running things, the country is not the people, it's the economy. It's the economy that we are fueling. Who's benefiting from that economy? Time is the most finite resource that you can sacrifice. Time is life. You already sacrifice over 3/4 of your life to serve a government economy. A governed economy. And think about what a governor does. No, not the person. Well, yeah, the person. The Governor General is meant to govern the government. Okay, they're meant to be governed. What does a governor do on an engine? It holds it back. Stops it from over-revving. Stops it from running at its full capacity so that it doesn't destroy itself. Okay? We are being over-governed. Not only are we being stopped from running at our full capacity, we are being held back to the point we are not reaching our full potential. Not even close to half of our potential. Let's go on. Don't know if you can see all that properly, don't really care, you can hear it.
Fearing the consequences if change isn't made.
It's quite a large problem. The force is below strength now.
Defence Force recruitment needs to grow from 5 to 9,000 people a year to meet demand.
Okay, welcome back, Mr. Cotter. Welcome back to this ugly mug. From 5,000 to 9,000 to meet demand. Whose demand? What is demanding of 9,000 people per year? Surmising this story ran 10 months ago. There's been a lot of beating of the war drums, hasn't there, over the last few years? China's going to attack Australia. China's going to attack Australia. China crosses our international sovereign border. Isn't it funny how we don't have sovereignty anymore? But apparently the nation state of Australia still does. Apparently Canberra still does. But we don't. When it comes to borders, slight sidetrack, we don't actually have internal borders. That's not a thing. There's no such thing. You have international borders for international law. This is how they get away with having different laws for different states. It's a sidetrack, I know, but this is how they get away with having different laws for different states so they can introduce things to see how well it's accepted, how well it works. If it works well, then it starts coming in all the other states by having internal borders. We don't have borders. The 1901 Constitution was never signed. So we still have colony boundaries. We are a colony with boundaries, with villages and shires. Let's get on with it. Actually, come back. Why do we need that many people per annum leaving our schools into the military? Why? If there's no threat of conflict, why? Why are you... I'll come back to that at the end of this.
We've got to be very targeted and make sure that we're giving people what they want.
Calling for Australia to copy the
Which people? What people? Who? Who are the people you were talking about, you grub?
US GI Bill that pays for veterans to get a trade or degree and a return to the Ready Reserve scheme for school leavers. The former Army chief says the government should even consider conscription if Australia is invaded or involved in a major overseas conflict.
It's there if there's an emergency.
Bruce Calder, conscripted in the 1960s, is unsure if it would work with younger generations.
I don't think they would appreciate it.
One day, they might not have a choice. Josh Martin, 7 New.
We might not have a choice, eh? Might not have a choice. Again, I implore you to read Genesis chapter 1, verses 26 through 31. And it tells us about dominion. Look up the word dominion. Dominion is authority. There is nowhere in there where you will find where man has dominion over man. Nowhere. In there you will find where there are laws that will deal with every problem we have today. We don't need legislature at all. Only in the corporate world do you need legislature. Do you need company policy and corporate legislature? It's the only places you need it. The only places you need rules are in your home and on the road. If you break the rules, you're at risk of breaking a law. Traffic rules are not laws. They're rules which you should abide by, because if you don't, you are at risk of breaking a law. We have complicated ourselves into, like, as if we have painted the floor, starting at the door and finished in the back corner of the room, and now we're stuck. We've painted ourselves into a legislative corner. At the behest of those who would send us to another country under the guise of defence to murder, to break the law. Was it okay for them to send us to do murder, to commit murder? Why is it okay for them to send us to commit murder? Why is it okay for other countries to invade other countries to commit murder? It's not the countries doing it, it's the fucking governments. It's the governments that are compromised, being controlled by the people that fund every single side of war, the banks. The Evelyn de Rothschilds and David Rockefellers and the Larry Finkses and Donald Trumps of the world. You think about what's going on in America, going to drain the swamp. Yeah, the swamp's not needed anymore. Now the oligarchs are in direct control of the United States. The swamp's irrelevant. Ha ha! Think about that. The swamp's irrelevant now. They don't need the swamp. The oligarchs are in direct control. Where did Jacinta Allen go? Where did that, what's the bloody name? She looks like the dude in the wheelchair off Saw from New South Wales. Used to be the Premier. Where's she gone? They all got cushy little jobs with the World Economic Forum. Same as Dan Andrews. Justin Trudeau. Another World Economic Forum plant. Justin Trudeau or Justin Castro? I think you'll find that he's Fidel Castro's boy. A fascist communist. So while you are all hopping up and down about freedom of speech in your echo chambers and digital IDs, whinging that you're going to have to comply instead of using your God-given free will, the armour of God, your courage, and your ability to not play the game, You don't have to pick up the dice and roll it, you know. It's a choice. You just got to have the courage to push back and say no. You don't have to try and overthrow a government if the government is irrelevant. They're irrelevant. They are not the law. The law, right? Dickheads, the law. Well, you don't talk very much like a Christian because I'm fucking not a religious man. But you swear, so? Say fucking what? There's another fucking misconception. Where in there does it say you're not allowed to make swear words? It says you're not allowed to curse. Some say you're not allowed to cuss. It doesn't sound nice coming out of ladies, and it doesn't sound very good coming out of children, and I don't do it in public. I've been picking up on a lot of it. I listened to the security guard talking to some gronk at the hospital door the other day at the front door for everyone to hear, fuck this and fuck that and fuck and fuck. And there was old ladies in there and I could see their faces going, my goodness. Disgusted in the little prick. He was a boy. Another one. Oh, I've got a security thing and I've got a mustache and I've got some guns. I've got authority. No, you don't. No, you don't. You do not have dominion over man. Authority is dominion. Dominion is authority. Look it up. It's what it is. You don't have it. The only authority anyone has is that which we grant them. If we allow them to have authority. We can allow them to have authority, but we can't allow them to have supreme authority. Supreme authority remains with the good Lord. Do not confuse God's law and Jewish law. Stop acquiescing. Stop it. Stop bending the knee to these fucking maggots. We don't have to have a war, you know. We don't have to go to war. I wonder. What sort of shit's really going on in Parliament at the moment while we're all hopping up and down about the paid talking heads topics? The mainstream alternative media, you know, the talking heads that this far and no further, as David Icke calls it. I agree with that. I don't agree with everything David Icke says. You don't find a talking head and then just go, yes, master, yep, you're right and everyone else is wrong, master. Because there's fucking thousands of them, all holding little groups in their little hold. 5 years I've been saying hold the line, trust the plan. It's a cattle race. Have you ever noticed that a cattle race ends at an abattoirs? Doesn't end at the finish line with a prize. It depends what you class as a prize, I guess. Oh, it's frustrating. So frustrating. I haven't lost hope. Well, how can I lose hope? I'm not afraid of dying. I'm pretty sure I know where me and my kids are going. I'd like to think that I helped some more people end up in the right place. Because like I said last night, you can end up in one of three options. A really good place, nothingness, or a real bad place. The nothingness means that I'm wrong and you're right. Nothing to fear there. There was nothing before that I can remember. Can you remember before you was born? There might have been something, but you just don't remember it. Doesn't hurt to live in a manner that ensures that you end up in a real good place, just in case, because it's a 1 in 3, it's a 1 in 3 chance, it's a 3-sided dice. It's a 1 in 3 chance. It's only a flip of the coin as to whether I'm right and wrong. The only thing I'm prepared, well, I'm not playing the right and wrong game. I'm playing the right, correct or incorrect game. I refuse to be wrong. I've refused to be wrong all my life, which is why I'm prepared to change my mind on things based on facts, not circumstantial evidence. The closest thing to circumstantial evidence that I have is a book that's lasted over a series of books that's lasted for thousands and thousands of years. One testament's a couple of thousand years old. The other one is about 6,000 years old or more. It starts at chapter 1. In the beginning. Genesis. I know one thing, I'm not going to end up in the bad place, which brings me back to a 50-50 chance. I'm either going to end up somewhere real good or nothingness. You're putting your lives in the hands of those who don't care where you end up. So I think you'll find they've already figured out where they're going. Nowhere good. They're on the 50-50 chance of nothingness or a real bad place. And they're quite happy to put you straight in the bad place. They're quite happy to put you into their category. Maybe nothingness, maybe the real bad place. Perhaps they know there's a real bad place, but their willful ignorance and refusal to accept where their path ends, willful ignorance, arrogance, self-delusion, kidding themselves, kind of like the same way that an ostrich does when it buries its head in the sand. Do you still think your government's here for you? Do you still think that that government sitting there in a territory is here for you that lives in a state? And the funny, the other territory is completely sold out to China, Darwin. So what makes you think Canberra's not? Because it is. All of our infrastructure, all of our minerals and resources, nearly everything goes to fucking China. They're our biggest trading partner. Only thing is, what do we trade? We trade our things of value, ours, not the government's, ours, our resources, our minerals, our fucking infrastructure, our investments, our wealth. We trade that and get nothing back for it. We're not getting it. Okay? Get that right. We're not getting anything. Public servants are taking it all. So who are they really fucking serving? Not us. Public servants and banks and offshore investors. People from offshore with offshore accounts and offshore corporations, multinational industries. They're running away with all of our shit. All of our valuable stuff. And what are we getting in return? Flat pack chipboard furniture that fucking falls apart, or it's fucked before you even get it out of the box. Garbage. A toaster that might last 6 months. Washing machines that throw themselves to pieces. Fridges that can't be repaired anymore. Mattresses. You're lucky to get a year out of a fucking bed now before the mattresses start fucking you in the fucking arsehole with a spring. It's all shit. We're allowing ourselves to be robbed by nerds, by weak motherfuckers.
Not only...
Because legislature and policy, it ain't law. Arguing with your fucking cop about what's law and what isn't law keeps you both of you from discovering the truth. We all know that what the cops are running around enforcing is fucking legislature and policy. It's designed to keep all of us chasing our ass, including the cops. Police, wake up, please. Wake up. We're not your enemies. We are not the enemy. Get out of your stupid little secret society fucking Freemason clubs and groups and Rotaries and Lions clubs and so forth. Get out of them. They're bad for you. They're bad for all of us. You don't know what you're getting into. Once they start coming for your family, who can't hide from them, because we're all running around with graphene oxide in yous. I don't know if I do or not. I haven't got any that was put in with any consent. I didn't take your fucking COVID-idiot pandemic fucking experimental jab. Nor did my kids, and it's not going to fucking happen. Tell you what, to get a pinprick in me or one of my kids that has that shit in it, if I know about it, it's gonna require some throats being torn out before you can accomplish that, I tell you. And I'll pull the fucking thing back out of my own arm and jam it through your fucking eye. That's not a threat, that's a promise. Because I have a God-given right to autonomy of my own body. I have the right to go about my life, my business and my travels unmolested. God-given, not a fucking government-given fucking privilege. A God-given right, a God-given liberty, a God-given freedom. That's why everyone's that's why you lot are afraid of the sovereigns. And you start fucking around with words and calling them sovereign citizens. Sorry, I'm not a freed slave with privileges. Look up what a citizen is, people. Where the word derives from. Roman Latin. That one's Roman, not Greek. How can you be a freed citizen of Rome in fucking Jerusalem? With privileges, but also obligations. What are those obligations? Military conscription, voting and taxes. Imperialism's great, isn't it? But hey, you do you, boo.
No.
Do as thou wilt, as Alistair Crowley said, without the consequences. It's supposed to be do as thou wilt, given that you hurt no other man, that you do not interfere with another man, with their rights, liberties and freedoms. How do you go about that? You abide by the 10 Commandments and the Golden Rule. It's the law. Anyway, God bless you and bye for now.